The 5 topics of Southeast Asian politics that I have learned. First is in Cambodia. Cambodia is a constitutional monarchy in which the king serves as the head of states and the prime minister is the head of government. There are 3 government branches of Cambodia: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. The main powers of the executive branch in Cambodia is the king appoints the prime minister from the assembly. He is the supreme commander of the armed forces. The power of the judicial branch also are appointed by the monarch, who protects the freedom and rights of the citizens, while the legislative creates law. The National Assembly has 125 members. The Senate has 61 members and 2 of them appointed by the king. Throne. The power of succession is selected by the political party and not by family. For example, the king is not allowed to select his own heir. Instead, the new king is chosen by the royal council or by the political party. The Cambodian People Party is the famous political party in Cambodia and dominated the political landscape of Cambodia because of winning most of the seats in the National Assembly. Second, in Brunei also takes place the framework of an absolute monarchy whereby the Sultan is both the head of states and the head of government. It is the only ruling state with an absolute monarchy in Southeast Asia. The Sultan holds absolute power in the states of administrative purposes. Brunei established the 5 councils: the religious councils, the privy councils, the executive councils, the legislative councils, and the councils of succession, in accordance with the 1959 Brunei Constitution. In the Executive Council, the Sultan serves as its head. The Privy Council advises the Sultan in the matters of concerning the exercise of authority. The Council of Succession Constitution states that the council will decide who will in the throne. Religious councils the Sultan on all subjects pertaining to Islam as head of Islamic faith. Council of Cabinet Ministers, their primary duty is to advise the Sultan on matters of national administration, including policy approval. Third is in the Indonesia. The Indonesian political system is a republican republic in which the authorities are concentrated in the hands of the central government. The president is the head of the executive authority and he is the head of the state and head of government and commander-in-chief of the Indonesian Armed Forces and responsible for local administrations, just like in the Philippines. The president shall be elected by direct vote of the people. The executive power is exercised by the government. The legislative power, both the government and the bicameral system, while the judiciary is independent of the executive and legislative. Just like in Cambodia, Thailand also is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary system of government. The monarch is the head of state and the prime minister is the head of government and a member of the House of Representatives. The National Assembly as the bicameral legislative branch consisting of the House of Representatives and Senate. The House of Representatives is the primary legislative chamber and has the power to remove the prime ministers and cabinet ministers. And last is Vietnam. Vietnam is a socialist republic with one party system led by the Communist Party of Vietnam. The politics of Vietnam is dominated by the single party under an authoritarian system led by the Communist Party of Vietnam. The president is head of states and prime minister is the head of government. Executive power is exercised by the government and the president of Vietnam. Legislative power is vested in the National Assembly and judicial is independent of the executive. The National Assembly of Vietnam has 500 members and directly elected by popular vote. It is said to be the highest organ of the state. The president also is elected by the National Assembly and acts as a de jure commander-in-chief of Vietnam's armed forces. The main executive state power of Vietnam is headed by the Prime Minister. However, the President also has the right to decide on executive boards. Thank you.